pandemic got us into a reflective space and made us look inward to see what we can do for the world at large. As a self-expression coach, I became a catalyst for women and started Vani, a one-on-one coaching program for women on finding their voice, to speak up, to be visible. As a storyteller, I spotted there were many ordinary people amongst us leading extraordinary lives, making a difference to the world, and they needed to be heard. Thus was born You and I with Rashmi Shetty, where amazing personal journeys with their uniqueness and individuality are showcased, a reaffirmation of the fact, open your eyes wider, the world is far more beautiful when we acknowledge the presence of both you and I. It was World Autism Awareness Day on April 2nd. In keeping with that, our guest today is Pushpa Bopaiah, an equine therapist, the only certified therapeutic riding instructor in India, helping children with physical disabilities and other challenges such as cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, and autism. Pushpa is certified from Strides Therapeutic Riding Center, California, a therapy center accredited to the North American Riding for the Handicapped Association, Los Angeles. She completed her training in 2000 and came back to India to introduce therapeutic riding for the first time at her hometown in Bengaluru. Pushpa has also completed her master's in Sociology from Bangalore University and has received a diploma in horsemanship from the Grallsta Riding Center. She also briefly worked at the Arundel Park Riding for disabled in Australia. Pushpa has a diploma in special needs teachers training from AP Teacher Training Institute, and in 2011, Pushpa began an integrated preschool for children. Her school, Nino's Preschool and Daycare in BTM Layout, Bangalore, had over 36 students, which included 20 children with special needs. She believes that integration at an early age will help children with special needs to cope better with the world around them. Listen in as Pushpa shares her journey from a naughty little girl to a lover of horses who moved on over the last few decades to make a difference in the lives of children with special needs and found aging horses so powerful in therapy. Hi Pushpa, such a pleasure to reconnect. It's amazing to see you after so long. And welcome to You and I with Rashmi Shetty.
Thank you, Rashmi. It's my privilege to be here. And thinking back 10 years, down the line, it's really amazing journey. Thank you. And you are the same as your voice and your work. Thank you so much.
Pleasure completely mine, Pushpa. And before we get to Pushpa Bopaiah of today, I want to know what little Pushpa was all about. You seem very happy, calm, and in a very nice space today. What was little Pushpa like?
Little Pushpa was very naughty, very outgoing, and born in a small village in Cook with a joint family, playing with more than 13, 14 children together, and always in the nature. So nature lover, animal lover, people lover. So little Pushpa always, chatterbox and too much of explanation, too much of attention. All these things is a little Pushpa, and of course, beautiful little girl. Want to attend everything, every ceremonies, every weddings, and come back and talk about to the whole, joint family. Everybody knows when Pushpa comes, we get the news. So that's how it is. That was the Pushpa, and always on orange tree, guava tree, amla tree. Climb up the tree, pick up the fruits, eat. Yeah, this is how it is.
Okay, so bratty, naughty. Everywhere and happy Pushpa.
Hyper Pushpa.
Hyper Pushpa. Okay, so how did school and college go, Pushpa? Did you continue
school? I'm talking about 30 years back. You can imagine, Rashmi. We all had only government schools, and we never had convents, or we never had any private schools. having said that, we have supposed to walk more than 3 to 4 kilometers from home to school. On the way, you find Lakshmi Tirtha river, and there was no overbridge. When the flood comes, you have to lift up your uniform and cross through the flood. So the head and walk, across the river and go and take some fruits from neighbor estates. Steal, I can say, get into the fence with the friends. That's how we reach school. So, but it was good. I mean, like we were always in the nature, and very, very. I mean, childhood was freedom. I can say free mind. Yeah. I wish these days kids should have been had that. Yeah, that's why I'm daredevil.
That's very true. Today's kids don't have that free childhood that the previous generation had.
Correct.
As you moved on, what were the subjects that interested you? What is it that you wanted to become?
Always social, Samaja Shastra, social studies. Always that was interesting subject for me. And of course, biology, science. Science was, but I used to hate physics. These are the subject and maths. Maths was not my forte. Even as I grew up, also I took psychology and social science. Yeah.
Okay, so you specialized in psychology and social science.
I did my sociology. In fact, after my degree, I did my university. It's called. What is that? Sociology. When I was in degree, as a subject, I had a psychology. So it went on like that. Then interest started with, I love kids though. I love kids because born and brought up around so many kids. So I'm very free with people, very free with kids. I become a kid when I say kids. Yeah.
Okay. So here you are, a postgraduate in sociology. And you were still in Coorg, or you moved out of Coorg by the time you did your master's?
No, I moved out. I moved out when I passed my 10th standard. Then my education is like roller coaster because I did my till 10th standard from Coorg. Then in fact 6th standard 1 year from Markara. And all other years from Ponampet, Virajpet, my hometown. Then 2 years of my PU I did in Sagar, Shivamogga district, because my mama was there, and again, they wanted a babysitter. Plus, I want to have my education because again, I'm going back. We never had an educational institution which is close to hometown. We have to. I told we have to either walk 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, with a different terrain and catch a bus. And by the time you come back from college, it will be 6 o'clock, 7. Imagine that was those days, the rustic jungle, not like, today's world. And of course, girls, definitely, parents won't allow girls to go on that time of, day.
Yeah.
So these are the constraints. So I wanted to study. I'm always very ziddy to pursue my studies. I love to learn every day. I want to learn something or other. Then I went 2 years. My PU I did it in Sagar College, morning college, so that other time I can take care of kids. Again, kids. I'm going back to kids. So I used to babysit 2 kids.
Okay.
Take them to school, bring back, then do my work. And side by side, I used to learn my shorthand, typing shorthand, and my Bharatanatyam. There was a Mahila Samaj in Sagar. I still remember. Again, I discontinued my dance because of Mahila Samaj used to close, have a dance from 6 to 7. Again, half of the year, darkness, it becomes very faster. So that they said, no, girls cannot walk after 6 o'clock. So these are the constraints. As a girl child, I had a lot of ups and downs to pursue my dream, or what I called my goal. But I was a happy child. Whatever I don't see yesterday, I don't see tomorrow. I see today what I do. I have to do best. Yeah. That's the instinct from the day one. I don't know whether it's good or bad, but I always believe in what you do today, put in 100%. And multitasker. That is sometimes, my kids say you will not achieve anything perfectly, mom. You have to just concentrate on one. There are well-planned people. So I am not planned person. That I take up, definitely I do my homework, but I don't plan tomorrow I should be like that. I should be like this. No, not like that. Today, what I do, I have to do 100%. Yeah, this is Pushpa.
So Pushpa is all about the now. She's completely present. Okay. So where did horses come in your life, Pushpa?
Wow.
When did you know that you love horses? Horses listen to you. And how did you get into this space? Because you're one of the few women I know who's an equine therapist. And The way
Okay.
you work with horses, I have read that horses have a rhythm, so it really helps the child.
Ye-
But how did you bring
Yes.
autism, children, and horses together in your kit? How did that happen?
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. I'll go back again. I had seen as a childhood in Coorg, Mapilas, you must be knowing that there are Arabian
Yes.
horses they used to have in place called Parane. They used to have Arabian horses. So I used to go to my aunt. Aunt lives in, I mean, married and lives in Parane. So there, these Mapilas, they used to have more than 30, 40 horses, just let free horses, not they're tied somewhere. They had paddock, nothing. They used to just come, on the paddy field. They used to run around, spook. I used to admire. I used to just touch and feed some grass, but I was not so free to go on them or sit on them. That was my first, looking at the horse. I maybe I was 6 or 7, probably, because that's the holidays, holidays time, summer holidays. So that is my first close view of horse. But somewhere down the line, of course, I love animals. It's not just a horse. We had dogs, we had cats, we had pigs, I mean, because Coorg, it's so much place. I think we must have a number 40 pair of cattle we had, because joint family we used to flow the paddy field. So this is the horse introduction. That was the first time. Then we used to go to Ooty again, holidays. There I got to sit on the horse. That when I was maybe 12 or 13, I vaguely remember. Again, that was not a perceiving or anything, but I had entered. These are the things. When I got married, I can say my ex-husband, I was 24. Okay. I'm married early. So he introduced horses. We said, chalo, let's go for a horse. It's a casual riding. We just go for it. Since we are, from Coog and Daredevil, first day only I was impressed and I was riding, then put into instructor. Instructor liked, Pushpa, you are doing amazing. Why don't you compete? This, that, it went on. There's endless. It's a big story. From Bari to Princess Academy to everything. Then like one day we were all sitting and looking at the techniques of riding, like how to jump, what position you have to have, how to balance, all things we have to learn every day, right? When you're passionate into it. We used to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, we used to run and touch the horse. So whichever horse you want, you have to touch the horse, you get to ride that particular horse. So that's how the day was. So interest built up, and we were one day sitting and looking at the thing. Email groups falls in, right? Those days, all email groups keeps coming, flopping up there. There we could find therapeutic riding for the disabled. Okay, much before that, I was working was a volunteer, working with the disabled people. Again, I go back when I was in the college, community working has introduced. So we have to go to community working. Like I worked with Blind Association. I worked from the college. Then I married a person who had a same interest. He used to work, with disability and things. So it matched very well to get through the, places, institutions. So for me, since I had a passion and there was a support, so it went on very well to gain the goal. So that's how it started. Then I used to jump. I used to have cross-country riding. I used to get the medals, come first, second, all this competitive. But being a family person, pursuing more as an international level rider was difficult. Then this popped up male raised antenna. So looking at that, we thought, why don't we, since you have disability. In the meantime, I did my course on disability management. That is from KPMRC, Karnataka Parents Association for Disabled Persons. That is, Zindal, next to Nimans. That was 11 months course. Yeah. So certificate, so that 1 year diploma I did from there. So I knew this knowledge of disability because I was working with the school health program. Whole day I have to talk. Before that, I did volunteer in school health program. It's too many things. So it's NGO called SHAPE, School Health Education Awareness Program. There my role was just go teach children what is health, hygiene, nutrition. Before this is all talking about.
Where were you? In which city were you when you were
Bangalore? Always in Bangalore. Always in Bangalore.
Oh, okay.
After Sagar, came back to Bangalore. 1 year gap I had. So I went in search of jobs because again, I'm very stubborn, very, egoistic, whatever, stubborn. I don't know what I call it. Because very individual person. I always being myself, do whatever I want to do myself. I want to have my own money. So I started working for 300 rupees. So I used to get 300 rupees in that, save some money, and whatever I want to buy, books, whatever. So always I wanted to have my own, spending things. So I'm going back to school health program. There I found these disabled children. They want to involve in my program. We used to have a flashcard showing them these are the nutritional food, like small grains what you get at home. No need to eat apple. Have banana backyard. Have one lemon, one egg. These are the nutrition things we have to have. So I used to play as a doctor role. Make one school classroom doctor. Make them a badge saying that you have to look at their nails, you have to see them, they have cut the hair, they have a chappal. So all these things we have to have a program, and Rotary is to support. They should supply these water bottles, bags for those particular school. So each school I would take 2 weeks, 40 minutes of lecturing from first standard to seventh standard, not beyond that. Again, free. There's no money involved in that. I used to go by auto, come back, cook for my kids used to go to school, come back. By the time I have to be back. So managing that, I did as a volunteer from the office. There again, I found these disabled people. So I had an interest of learning disability. What is disability? That is program. Then when it came to horse riding, they said you need to have a 40% of disability knowledge and 60% of horsemanship. So that's how. So I had both. So I fit into this scholarship. So from US, there's a lady called NARHA Fishback. She wrote to me, okay, you are eligible for this program. Before that, I wrote a couple of colleges and Francis, so many colleges in California, but it was quite some money, like $4,000. So I was not afford, and it was not worth going. So that's how. Then this lady said, you can come and live with me, director, and you have to work for your whatever earning. So I worked from morning 7:30 to evening 7:30 in the ranch. So that gave me knowledge. Whatever India you learned, I have to redo that there. Yeah, so this is how journey started.
It's fascinating now when you're telling how each dot connected. You may have volunteered and given your time and presence
Yes,
in
yes,
areas,
yes.
but everything was for a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I believe in it.
Yeah. And when you went to the US, you started working in the ranch, you started doing this certification. Did you somewhere realize that this is what you always wanted to do, or was it difficult? What were the thoughts going?
Yeah, Rashmi, one thing, I don't know it's good or bad. I never think anything. I don't know. I'm just go get it, go do it. You understand. Maybe it's a good or bad. I don't know. I still keep telling my children. I can't make decisions. Like take as it comes. That's the person I am. Take as it comes. I don't say, oh, maybe this is what I want to do. I never thought like that. Something coming on my plate, something is coming to me. I want to grab that and do it. What I want to do it. That's it. And this perceived more and more. And why more determined for me past 20 years, this is almost 23 years now, past 23 years, when I became a single mom, that is now at almost 22 years, I have a single mom. That made me more determined towards the work, passion, everything. So I can say that also made me pursue more and more about my work and environment, everything. I become more stronger. Usually I'm very strong and very independent. Now I become more stronger. Yeah, more stronger. I believe because no men had any influence in my life. Of course, my ex-husband supported for this cause or whatever. But what I'm telling, after that, maybe I thought I shouldn't be dependent upon anybody. And it's not that I believe or I trust or anything. Nothing matters to me. Like, it's nothing. I started working under 500 men. So for me, I'm also one of, I play because I lost my dad very early. I lost my brother very early. So imagine my husband also 23 years now. So man role, is not so much influencing in my life. Rather, my daughters are my, strength. They are my friends. They are my supporters. They are my everything. So we are very close families, very, 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 very intimated. So that's why, for me, I will never think, okay, this is my passion, I have to do, but I keep doing. Determination, dedication, hard work, honest, 100% put in.
Yeah, it's so true, determination, dedication, hard work, and honesty. If all these four are there in anything that you do, you will be successful, because obviously you'll enjoy all of it, and you know at the end of it there is a purpose.
Yeah,
And
Rashmi, still I don't understand what is success.
that's
I don't.
okay. Success definition is different for different
Absolutely. So
people.
I don't know. Still, I don't know whether I succeeded or anything. I've grown up. On that. I don't know, but I'm happy doing what I am doing. That's it. I get up with full pleasure. I wake up. Previous night, I make ready all my attire. So morning, I have to keep the boots ready, with the breeches ready, my cap, my mask. Every day, I wear my mask, ready, everything ready. So I'm so much passionate towards. I may do all the other work around it and make sure that slot is there for me to work. Yeah, this is
Wow.
our.
Okay, so now that we know your schedule for every day, let's go back to find out. Once you finished your scholarship in the US,
Mhm.
you came back to India to teach.
Yes.
How receptive were people to this? Because it was relatively new in India at that point of time. So, how did you tell people? Were you on social media? Did you go and address parents? How did people know what you're doing, how it's helping? And I want to know that journey, Pushpa.
Yes, precisely. It was very new. It was, I mean, terminology itself was very new. Disability itself was very new. People used to say, "What is this?" I mean, most of them used to say, "What is disability?" Other than the parent of disabled people, people used to say, "What is disability?" So I have to explain first what is disability. Imagine. Then horseman equine therapy is way far. So it was they were not able to take it up. First, I had because of that. First, I had we introduced two horses, four children, two horses, four children, and one volunteer from Australia. So Princess Academy. And much before that, I used to, since I used to ride, I knew which horses I can take. Old horses, preferably. So we always mouth to mouth again. School from those four children used to come from some special school. So they used to talk about it. Of course, media helped me a lot. Udayvani, all that ETV, Uday TV, CNN, NDTV, and I mean radio. I think you guys are also had me before that. I mean, almost all the papers I can say: India Today, Deccan Herald, Prajavani, Enadu, Kerala. I mean, almost all media was helpful. Through that, of course, we had a lot of people, but people are still, they were a little bit stigma about bringing kids out. Accepting itself was very big deal, no, for them. Talking about my child is disabled and I want to show to the, and also we were involved in media because it's the first time in India. So media were always hounding, right? They were always want to know it. They were very happy. But parents were little hesitant to bring them out. Couple of them, most of them were there, but couple of them still. But later on, when of course the media and computers, all that grown, people were very happy to read about it. Wow, there is a equine therapy in abroad. It is almost 30 years old. We have in India. So they started coming, and physiotherapists and speech therapists, they were involved because it was very helpful to them. Once you have a therapy, then redoing them, it was very good. Receptiveness with the kids were very much in. So parents were happy, and we started telling them, and I was not happy to take many also, because horses has to be trained, volunteer has to be trained, horse holder has to be trained. It was constraint for me to take many kids, because now that many horses were not trained. So that's how journey happened. Then in between, I started traveling to learn more. So I went to Sweden to I lived in the ranch with 150 special kids. It's place called Sala, and a riding center called Grallsta Riding Center. So there I worked with the special kids. So I got more knowledge, different exercises and those things. Came back, and I went to Australia, place called Riding Disabled Association, RDA. European countries run RDA, Riding Disabled Association. Americans, they follow NARHA, North American Riding Association for Physically Handicapped. So they have different continents, have different names, but they're all so much involved in it. People are involved in it. They are so much aware of it. Volunteers, parents volunteer, horse owners volunteer, they give the horses to the people. So that's how it runs there. Here it was hard for me to pursue this in a bigger way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about horses, Pushpa? Why are horses such a beautiful animal to associate for the disabled kids? How does it help them and this whole process? What is?
Yeah. Firstly, animal.
Yes.
And of course, first the animal. And horse is a very, very special animal. It has got sixth sense and such a beautiful rhythm, like human rhythm. Like horse gait is similar to human gait. You can watch when your horse moves from backside, the pelvic movement of the horse similar to human gait. So a disabled child, especially wheelchair person, and CP, cerebral palsy kids, when they cannot walk, they are always on the wheelchair, and muscular dystrophy people, where they cannot walk because their always muscles are cramped and they feel like falling down. They all sit on the horse. They feel that they are walking. They don't see that they are sitting on the horse, because as they walk, their pelvic also moves. So they feel their movement on the horse as a human gait. So that's one thing. And horse don't expect anything like us as a teacher, as a guardian. Reward, they don't expect. So especially autism children, they don't like somebody intruding too many instructions. Horse, behaves like a behavioralist. Horse can, take their, horses are very sensible. I can see the horse which runs, gallops with a normal, so-called normal person when he rides. When disabled child and sits, it sniffs back, reaches his legs, and stays so quietly and walks way so smoothly. So look at the sensitivity of an animal towards a human, whereas human don't treat them or understand their emotions, but they other way they understand our emotions. So which I learned a lot, and it helped my emotions to balance in my life. So horse is my lifeline. Yeah.
Truly, and the way you're explaining this, it seems magical. When did you feel like you are part of an amazing journey? Which moment told you that, yes, Pushpa, this is what you're going to do?
Many kids come from abroad. Many kids come from different states. They come and they feel so good, and parents come and say, I want to fall on your feet. And they said, we have gained something. Because of you, we come and spend 1 hour here, not just with the kid. So these are the small comments and small greetings from them. In their own language, they write. In their pictures, the paints are so beautiful. And they value it and they love me so much unconditionally. So that makes me, yeah, this is what I'm.
It's so true, because just like children have a very beautiful way of
Yes, yes,
conveying through their
yes,
eyes the
yes.
nonverbal cues more than words. I think that is what makes it special. And I'm sure you must be a very blessed soul to be doing
Of
what you're
course,
doing.
I'm totally blessed. I'm very happy that I'm very proud that I've born as a woman and I've born as a person to do so many things. I'm really blessed. Looking around, people are chasing money, chasing fame, name, whatever, but I'm really happy. And sound sleep I'll have. And I don't have any problem. So I have a good meal
Naturally.
and good exercise. Yeah.
And I'm sure God is
Yeah.
watching you very carefully because people like
Yeah.
you are very special, Pushpa. Now, my
Thank
question is a very technical one.
Oh, sure,
What
no
you
problem.
said that the horse's gait and
Hmm.
especially the pelvic movement is
Mhm.
more like human.
Mhm.
So, what does it do to a child who has any kind of disability or has cerebral palsy,
I'll
muscular
tell you.
dystrophy, any or autism?
Sure.
How does it help the child? Does
Mhm.
it calm the child?
Yes.
Because, like you said, the horse develops a relationship with the child.
Correct. Correct.
Does the child go? You remember you said that when you set out, you had to run and touch your horse.
Yeah.
So, does the child decide which horse, or you decide which horse?
No, see, we begin like this. Firstly, we do their medical screening because not all disabled child can ride. If they have a seizure, mild seizure, like third stage of seizure, we cannot take them because they are a sensitive animal. When the seizure gets the body, shakes up, and horse may spook, because we cannot judge a horse whether he's so calm, what situation. He is also like a child, right? Any situation thing, they may bolt. So we screen first medical report, and also any stunt near the neck, heart, back. So these are all called contraindications. So I look at into the contraindication of a child before they come in. So we screen that. Once that is clear, then we categorize. If it is autism children, we need to have them this kind of horses, very calm, cool, good rhythm. And if it is CP child, we have to have a belt saddle so that they don't have a body balance. So I have made special saddles designed I mixed from Western saddle and Indian saddle according to our child need. So gave it to the cup and design whatever it is. I have made that so that even adult can sit with the belt who cannot have a body balance. The CP children have a special saddles. Then if we have muscular dystrophy, can use this saddle, but for them exercises are different because we cannot exercise them more than a spastic child. Spastic child muscles are rigid. Some children are very soft. It's hypertonic, low tonic. So we have to check these things. And that's why, again, going back, medical reports are very important. Accordingly, I exercise them, stretch their muscles. Exercise, there are different exercises introduced. Like, for example, take the ball, lift it up for 20 counts so that you stretch your abductor sideways 20 times, either side 20 times, go back and lift it. There are different exercises for them. I introduced many exercises. Hula hoops. So they play hula hoops as exercises on the horseback. And we have a basketball playing on the horse. So we have a beads and, putting the beads on the thread for the eye-hand coordination for autism children, making them cool down. And also they gain attention, concentration, and coordination, autism children. They have to be attentive. You cannot be hyper. You have to coordinate with your hand and hand. You have to hold the rein, otherwise you will fall. You have to balance yourself, and you have to listen the instructions. Environmental friendly, and there's the tactile stimulation because there is a smell. I take them in the jungle. There's the fauna and flora. Introduce the flowers, colors. Lift up the hands and pluck the leaves and count. Feed the horse. There's so many things. I can't explain to you. Different levels of exercises I introduce. And this muscle strengthening for the CP children. Again, you have to stretch them. So all the physiotherapists, they recommend these kids, please go to equine therapy first, then come back to us. So easy our work to stretch them. You would have been already stretched. Because of the horse movement, you automatically stretch, not that somebody is telling you to stretch yourself. You have to stretch. You have to be erect. You have to be ready. Your hand should be straight forward. I make them stretch. Reach out to your toes, clap up 20 counts, forward and hug your horse for 20 counts. So there are a lot of stretching exercises. Personally, I stretch them, I massage them. Like physiotherapist work also I do, speech therapist work also I do. Nothing but introduce them single word in a small, broken words, introduce that way. Then they will first ask their name, today's date. I start with today is Sunday, which month, March, what date. So everybody repeat. That's how we start with. Then the stretching. Which horse name, introducing horse name, color of the horse. So many things, parts of the body. Introduce your part of the body. You have 2 hands. Horse has got 4 legs. You have 2 legs. Like that. It has so many interactive sessions I have on the horse, not just riding. That's how it helps different children in different way. And we have group sessions. Also, I take them individually. In the group, I take them. But when I exercise, I do it individually. Yeah.
And do the parents also sit and watch you so that they can repeat it at home with the child?
Yes. I send every time when a new child comes, I have to send them videos and photos for a few times. And they know these are the things we do. So they try at home. Some of the children, they didn't even know how to catch the ball and throw the ball. So we literally every day practicing, they learned how to hold, then lift it up and throw. So these are all the small things. It looks like, oh, look, you're sitting on the horse and going. That's a small thing. Because people used to tell, are you a racer? Are you going to a race course? It's because they don't understand horse and the children. Yeah. And horses also benefits in this because most of the old horses, they put down. I mean, they're not useful. Then they either send away or they put it down. So we give to older horses life also. They need this much with the. So it works as a team, horse, people, and I transform these boys who hold the horses. So it works like that.
This is so beautiful. I love the way you're coordinating so much, and it's beneficial mutually to the horse as much as to the children.
Correct.
And older horses also find a very beautiful way to
Correct.
continue their life as long as they have it. So, Pushpa, you shared those beautiful moments of thanks and gratitude from the parent side, the kid side. Have there been moments when you paused and asked yourself, am I doing the right thing? Were you disappointed anytime, upset anytime? Any moment where you were not happy with the way things?
Yes, yes. Being a stubborn person and a very independent person, what happens sometimes, people do, see, I'm a human being. I'm not, correct in all the way. I cannot see my back. So people can point out my mistakes. So initially, yes, I used to feel very bad. People used to say, and because I used to feel very bad because things were not, I'm on time person. I believe in time, and I believe in doing things 100% and multitasker again. So I expect that from everybody and I get disappointed. So I should not be like that. That's what. But over the year, now I'm growing wiser. So what? So I mean, want to be. That's how I get disappointed. That's not people's fault. That is my problem because I was not accepting as people are. I supposed to. I
Yeah.
have to listen and talk less. So that has to happen. But it was not happening because I'm energetic, so much doing, I'm so enthusiastic, blah, blah, blah. Those things, made me disappointed also because nothing is happening according to me. All me, me, me. Yeah. So that, of course, I had. And working under so many men, obviously, somewhere down the line, men will put you down sometimes. Yeah. Not all, some of them. So sometimes tears, of course, I shed tears. I sat, I said, no, quitting, I never thought, but of course, disappointment used to be there. What I do, I work a lot. When I upset, I want to work. I want to give pain to my body. That's what I work a lot. I cook. I love to cook. I used to cook a lot. So that's how it was. Yeah.
Okay. This is such a beautiful reflected space you're in, Pushpa. Now, in the pandemic, this podcast was born in the pandemic. And when I was looking around and I noticed people were so selfish about their own comfort, to wear a mask, they were really complaining. And that's where the urge to put out stories of people who've gone beyond themselves was important. And that's how this podcast was born. It was a reflective space for all of us. Everyone was seeing what is my life, what am I doing, and especially for the disabled. The
Yes.
pandemic was a huge challenge. So, what have your reflections from the pandemic been? How did you transit those periods? Because there was a lockdown, people could not see each other, and children are very restless when they can't see people they're familiar with and their
Yes.
routine shifted. So, how did you handle it? What did you learn from
Yeah. Pandemic was. I can put it in two ways. It was beautiful, and also we learned a lot of lessons. So what I'm trying to say is, pandemic was 100%. I cannot say I enjoyed, but 75% yes. And my first thing is pandemic. In pandemic, my daughter gave me a baby girl. That was my gift as a glory, and so she was such a beautiful sunshine. That's my first beautiful thing happened in pandemic. She's 3 now. And second one, though everybody used to restricts their movements, but army allowed me to work in pandemic. So my 6 disabled kids, they started coming, and I started with the mask. And army is 400 acres, so they allowed me to take a lesson. So I didn't had my work wise, I didn't had much regret. Of course, I had a school. I didn't tell you, I had a school, special school, integrated school, I can say, 12 normal kids and 30 special kids. I have to shut down. That was a bad decision. So, because unfortunately, I have to close the school. That was really made me. But my granddaughter took over all that pain and made me to enjoy my life. But I learned what to be simplicity living. You have to be simple in your life. and respecting everyone's work. And we knew that what is family matters. Many parents I asked, how was your pandemic time? They say, ma'am, first time my husband was at home. The other person, first time my husband was sweeping and swabbing. And children say my mom was cooking for me. So look at the different people had different experience, which is for good for them to reflect it and say it. And for me, of course, I had my family together and we all worked as a team, and raising the child and being housework and being happy. Of course, we used to have emotional down days, but we spoke each other, okay, this is what it is. And we loved nature. What I saw is in pandemic, I saw beautiful nature with the different birds, and I wish every day should be like this. Roads were empty, and very simple life. Have your basic home food, and I think people definitely learned many things. Of course, innovative, creative came out. After the pandemic, you see a lot of food joints coming out with innovative, creative way. So people have learned many things on pandemic to value your life, value your money, and respect nature. So this is what I can say. According to me, this is really a good lesson for people to next how to take the nature, how to be with the respecting the human rights. All these things we have learned. Yeah.
Very, very true. And we've come to that point where your beautiful life, the amazing work that you do, everything has been so beautifully described by you. If there are 3 life lessons, Pushpa, that you would like to leave us with at the end of the conversation, what would the 3 lessons?
Yeah, there are so many. I can tell you 3 of them. Be yourself, true to yourself, love, laugh, live, and let live. That is my message to all.
This is so amazing, Pushpa. Thank you so much for your time. There are some people we meet and then we forget. There are some people we meet and they just stay on with us. You are one of those people that I met in my radio journey.
I'm
for
so
the
privileged.
Amazing work that you do. May your tribe increase. God bless you. And may all your dreams be fulfilled, because people like you are sunshine and you bring happiness lives of a lot of other people who need that sunshine. So God bless you. Honored to have had you on You and I with Rashmi Shetty. Wonderful reconnecting.
Thank you, Rashmi. I'm so privileged. I'm so happy. People like you recognize me and talk about me. I'm really happy. I want you to continue a good work and wish you all the best for you and your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Pushpa. With that, we come to the end of this weekly quest of You and I with Rashmi Shetty. Do let us know if you know people who make the world beautiful. Write in to rashmi.thethirdeye@gmail.com. That is rashmi.thhirdeye@gmail.com. Come, let's explore this amazing world together, both you and I.